An increasing number of people across the globe are affected by extreme weather events. Forest fires, earthquakes or floods can and have changed lives irrevocably. But how can we be better prepared for these natural disasters? And which smart tech solutions can help us with that? Extreme weather conditions are causing natural disasters, making precise weather forecasts even more crucial. They can warn us in advance when wind, rain or heat reach threatening levels, which could potentially save lives. For example, the Boston-based company Tomorrow.io is working on highly precise global forecast models using their own satellites and AI. In September 2024, Hurricane Helene swept across the southeastern US, leaving death and destruction, with wind speeds of up to 220 kilometers per hour and a record amount of rain. In North Carolina alone, more than 100 people died. But Boston-based startup Tomorrow.io is working on ways to help people around the world to be better prepared for extreme weather.
Our goal here is to really democratize access to weather for every person on Earth, regardless of their economic status, regardless of their location, so that first of all, weather forecasts that some people on Earth take for granted will become applicable to everyone on Earth. And then two, people can actually improve their livelihoods in the face of weather, in the face of climate, to either improve their yields, stay safe, keep their family fed, keep their family safe, and make sure they can actually thrive in this era.
Billions of people currently do not have access to precise, up-to-date weather forecasts. The reason is a lack in data, especially in poorer countries. To change this, Tomorrow.io is relying on its own, more precise weather satellites. 8 of them are already in space.
Our satellites are able to, one, cover any point on Earth, including oceans, remote regions, anywhere on Earth. And then our data refresh rate is also much faster. So we're able to get more data in a faster amount of time.
Speed and accuracy are key when racing against nature's clock. Reliable weather forecasts only really exist for Europe and the US, as a web of weather stations supplies lots of data. In many countries south of the Sahara, it's the opposite. Fewer weather stations lead to less precise forecasts, which is a bigger issue there, as around 60% of the population in poorer countries work in agriculture, where weather conditions have a huge impact. And sowing at the right time is key to a successful harvest. More satellites gathering data from these regions could change this and help millions of farmers. Tomorrow.io also uses AI. Smart data analysis is supposed to deliver faster and more precise weather forecasts.
A big model that is doing a forecast using a lot of resources takes a few hours because you're discretizing the entire globe. These AI models can do that in a matter of minutes.
The AI models improve when they receive more data, provided by both company-owned and other satellites.
As we collect more and more of this data, especially the precipitation data, which is really the hardest one to get globally, we feel that this will be a game changer in training all of the AI models. We want to be able to be much better in predicting precipitation, and that's where I believe that with all of our models and the data, we're going to make a big positive impact.
Tomorrow.io supplies airlines, electricity providers and TV broadcasters with weather forecasts, which allows them to quickly adapt to severe weather conditions. But others could profit too.
In Kenya right now, we've helped 5 million farmers understand when to plant, when to harvest to improve their yields in the face of drought and more volatile weather. We can deliver forecasts to farmers in the way they need to receive it. That might be through SMS text or through smartphones or other methods as well. But they understand based on where they are and based on where their farm is, exactly what to do and when to maximize their yield.
Precise weather forecasts help people and companies to prepare for extreme weather and to minimize the damage. Too many people die as a result of extreme weather. In May 2024, multiple heat waves hit India and Pakistan, and local hospitals were unable to cope. The UN has since started a global initiative, More Resilience to Natural Disasters, using AI. Monique Kuglic from the Fraunhofer Institute says the whole world could benefit.
We're seeing AI being used to digest data in real time, to monitor how a situation evolves. For instance, to see how a wildfire propagates and grows so that people can evacuate in time. We're also seeing AI being used to get situational awareness, to digest geolocated social media posts, to see where first responders should go first to help people. We're also seeing AI being used to detect changes in before and after imagery, to see where damage was the worst.
Monique Kuglic heads a global UN initiative. Its aim? To show both governments and organizations how AI can help make people more resilient to natural disasters.
We're seeing that AI is becoming a really important part of disaster management. On the other hand, we also see that disasters, unfortunately, are getting worse. We need to find a way that we can benefit from AI to reduce the impacts of disasters, but in a responsible way.
At the Fraunhofer Institute in Berlin, her team is working on international standards for using AI in disaster management. One major issue is transparency. Users need to understand where the data comes from and how it gets analyzed. Currently, every country has its own methods to monitor disasters. Global standards could help improve cooperation.
Just to give an example, if you have a hurricane that's brewing in the Caribbean, you have a lot of different states that are represented in the Caribbean. If it's feasible to make sure that let's say if we have an AI-based forecasting system, to make sure that it's interoperable with each other, then you can have continuous coverage. That's incredible.
And there are more ways AI can help spot danger before it hits. A research team of the British Geological Survey is using machine learning to precisely analyze a series of earthquakes on Santorini with impressive results.
AI tells us clearly, by detecting more earthquakes than standard techniques, that we have entered the phase of unrest around January 26. If we're looking now very traditional catalogs that are available, we see that the seismicity, the crisis started around January 31st.
Machine learning algorithms detected 10 times more seismic shocks, 5 days ahead of classic seismographs. Santorini was evacuated for security reasons. Now, some of the residents are returning. Should there be another earthquake, this new knowledge could prove helpful in bringing people to safety in time.
If we had real-time this capability, which is possible now, we could have 5 more days to prepare not only the population, but also prepare the seismic networks to adapt to this crisis.
So, what we do know is every second counts when it comes to natural disasters. What we don't know is how the situation can develop. Will my house be affected? And if so, how quickly is the water expected to rise? Real-time information could be a game changer. And a team from the Technical University Sydney is testing a new technology called network sensing to offer just that. Scientists are using this pool to simulate rising water levels, just like in a flood. Here, they don't use regular sensors. Instead, the scientists are developing a new technology called network sensing. 5G signals are used to detect changes in the environment. This mobile communications technology enables real-time data transfer.
We communicate with the mobile networks through our mobile to a base station. The signal from the base station to the mobile and from mobile to base stations are affected by the environmental factors. When there are rainfall or water level change, these signals will be different. By analyzing those signal changes, we can obtain the information about flooding and the rainfall, etc.
AI is used to analyze the data and to feed it into a digital twin. The program then visualizes when and where to expect floods. Conventional weather forecasts use satellite images and complex simulations, but they don't deliver real-time data.
The traditional method gave you a long-term general forecast. So for example, in the next day, next few days, in a big area. This is useful, but not useful enough for flash flooding forecast. Using our method, we can give the information about flooding when it happens, and also predict when it might happen in the next half an hour, next hour, in what street, at what level.
The accuracy of the information is unparalleled. It could be incredibly helpful in an emergency. In February 2022, the Australian city of Lismore experienced the heaviest flooding in its history. Around 5,000 houses were either destroyed or heavily damaged. Rescue forces in particular hope to profit from network sensing in the future.
The entire plan is to actually have a well-informed community that can make accurate decisions based on their own circumstance and make their own preparations so that in the event of a flood event, emergency services really aren't all that much required. That would be the ultimate goal of all emergency services throughout the world. If we have to respond, it's too late.
As network sensing uses already existing infrastructure, it's an affordable method for flood forecasting. The technology works anywhere as long as there is 5G coverage.
That is a complete game changer where you don't actually have to install physical sensors that could potentially get washed away or get damaged or need to be maintained on a regular basis.
Network sensing is still being developed. It is still unclear when and how it will be used. But in the future, weather forecasts could become more accurate, more accessible, and provide real-time updates. AI won't prevent natural disasters from happening, but could provide more protection and security. How much do you rely on weather forecasts? Do you regularly use rain radars and other apps? Let us know in the comments and check out our other videos online. That's it from me this week. Bye for now.